And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at not Aquatica. Aquatica is a great game in the Dice Tower Essentials, but its expansion, Aquatica Cold Waters, as opposed to all the warm waters are out there. But hey, cool cover for Aquatica, just as cool of a cover for this expansion. This expansion adds more stuff. It adds a fifth player, it adds a few new goals, it adds more characters, it adds more areas to conquer, and it adds a new tribes module. Let me show you. The first thing this expansion shows, or adds, is a fifth player. Hey, white mantas, and a new set of cards for the players to use. But it also adds new locations that are white locations, which are here to help the fifth players. But they also introduce some new symbols on them. So let's take a look here. This symbol here lets you flip. Each other player has to flip one of their mantas face down. So it's a little bit of take that. Not much, but even more importantly, this mirror. The mirror is awesome. The mirror basically copies the effect from any other symbol you can see on your board. You can't copy ones that show resources, just effects, but that's still a pretty neat thing to have. So I could use this, for example, as that. And so that's new stuff that's added, and you can use this even if you're not playing with 5 players, just throwing the extra white cards in the deck. There's new characters now that you can also recruit, but you'll notice, okay, recruit a character, score a card, unflip all your mantas. But what's neat is when you discard these, and they're on the top of your discard pile, they give you a bonus. So this one's +2 attack on the top of your discard pile. When this is on top of your discard pile, you can scout before your main action. And this one here, the big bad walrus, gives you 2 and conquer a location, but it gives you +2 money when it's on the top of your discard pile. And then we got some other cool ones here where you can recruit a character with attack, the killer whale. Here, if you score a location and it's 3 or less, you can keep scoring until you score something that's 4 or more. Let you score a bunch of small ones. And here, the colossal squid lets you flip mantas to give you extra money and then buy a location. These aren't the only things that are added. There's also new leaders here. Tundra the Severe, Bjorn the Fearless, and Cassandra the Enchanted. And you'll notice that Bjorn and Tundra also have special abilities. So she's gain 2, conquer a location, and then on the top of your pile, she's another attack 2. While he's lets you score 2 cards, and on the top of your discard pile, you can use attack as money. He may be my favorite leader. There's also a couple new goals that you can put on the board, and with the goals module, but hey, maybe you don't want to play with that and you want to play with the tribes. That's the big new thing this adds. Boom. This gets placed here on top of the board, and then you'll notice there's 4 1s and 4 2s, and you're just going to draw some cards. You'll see they have backs of 1s and 2s. You'll place 4 1s and 4 2s each game, and these are different things that players are trying to achieve. So on your turn, instead of buying a character, when you take the buy a character action, you can place one of your mantas on one of these tribe cards. Now when you do so, the cost is written there at the top. So for example, here, this is going to cost 9, but it's also going to cost you extra +1 coin for each manta that's already there. So if I go on this spot, it's going to cost me 10. But the next person to go there, it's going to cost them 11, etc. Now each one of these, there's a difference between the 1s and the 2s. The 2s here are going to give you end game scoring bonuses. Well, they're all going to give you end game scoring bonuses all across the board. Some of them are pretty obvious. So you'll see this gifted here gives you 4 points at the end of the game. This one over here is going to give you 2 for each location in your scoring pile that costs 3 or less. And so there's various ones that they'll give you. Like the example, the blind seers give you points for each location on your player board as if you scored it at the end of the game. That's pretty handy. And you'll see all these are just basically straight points. But the Tribe 1 cards also give you an ongoing bonus. Like, for example, the Deep Sea Witches give you +2 when you buy locations. Unflip a Manta after you conquer a location, +2 for recruiting to gift it. While over here, these give you an instant bonus. I do this one, I score a card. I do this one, I get the mirror, copy of the thing on my card. I do this one, unflip all the mantas. So there's a very distinct difference here between these in the fact that these are going to give you something immediately and could possibly give you a lot of points at the end of the game. These give you some points at the end of the game, but give you a special ability. The rules and the components for this game are fine. I mean, you're going to be able to fit everything in a base box, but it does have an insert. If you want to keep everything separate, you can do so. But the rules themselves, they explain all the new stuff, and they also have a few rules changes if you got the base game from Spiel 2019. If you don't, these are already included, but they talked about how the scout effect's been changed, etc. And of course, you can just go online and add this stuff in yourself. But it's a very clear rule book. All the components for the game are very nice. The purple ink is still the only thing I might complain. It's still not so easy to see, but man, that new white ink, really, really easy to see. Now, I obviously love Aquatica, Dice Tower Essentials line, but this expansion, if you like Aquatica, this is a must-get expansion. It really is. Now, the 5th player, take it or leave it. I don't mind playing this with 5 players, but it's just nice to have more colors, I suppose. But it's the other stuff in here. Okay, adding more characters. Fantastic. You see the same characters often in the base game. This almost doubles the number that are in there. I like to see a varied group of characters come out. And the new lands. The white lands are slightly different. Each color land in the base game has like a different thing that it does. These add those mirrors and the flipping other people's mantas, which is a very little mild take that, but could be a slightly annoying one. So I like that. I think that stuff's cool. The new goals are neat. That all adds in and makes it cool. But that tribes module, oh man, I'll tell you this. If it's your first time playing Aquatica with me, then I will play with the base game. But if you played Aquatica before, I'm going to lobby loudly when we play that we play with the tribes module because I really enjoy it. Rather than just putting a manta on 4 different things and finishing the game, which was fine, this adds a lot more thought to that. Do I want to take something that gives me a bonus for the rest of the game? That's awesome. I get a special ability. Or do I want to take this worth endgame points? You definitely want to do these. And an immediate benefit, and they feel good, they feel useful, and there still is the whole, I want to do it before everybody else because I make it more expensive for each successive player who does it. And it also makes money more valuable. Recruiting a character, and the cards that allow you to recruit characters now have had their value increased. So people who just went out and conquered lands, that's still a viable strategy, but recruiting characters, definitely there. I also love the characters who turn and give you something if they're on the top of your discard pile. That's fun. It's just good. It's not that complex, easy to learn, and in fact, if you're teaching people who are gamers Aquatica, you could teach them with this expansion included, and they would not notice. So, this is one of those times, if you have Aquatica, you're going to want this, because I won't play without it, if possible. There you go. That's the Aquatica Cold Waters expansion. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent!